tweet from someone who said, Derek, don't you think that you've been a little harsh on Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures too? Don't you think you're kind of being a dick about it? He didn't actually say the last part, but I can guarantee you that if he had more characters to work with, that's exactly what he would have said. But then I slept on it, and I thought, Derek, perhaps you ought to seek out yet another version and review it, because clearly that's what the internet wants. Either because they want you to give it a fairer shake and a more positive review, or because they're just huge jerk-offs who want to watch you slowly descend into madness and lose your goddamn mind. So here we are. It's Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2 for the PlayStation 3. And yes, I'm just as surprised as you are that I haven't reviewed this yet, and equally appalled that I've decided to do it again. But don't blame me, blame the person who tweeted me. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's a 3D platformer that rips off much better 3D platformers, but then takes what it rips and like grinds it in like a meat grinder. But you know, I don't think I've ever said that it's made poorly. It's technically a fine game. It looks okay, technically. It plays just fine. The controls are tight and they're responsive. You know, this is the best average generic game that you could possibly ask for. It's just this paint by numbers generic 3D platformer. Oh, and look, there's platforming and there's power-ups. Isn't that a novel idea? I wonder where they came up with that. I guess we'll never know. Hey, there's also these really weird things where Pac-Man has these metal protrudences coming out of his mouth. So you're playing as HR Pac-Man, only he's also, you know, got the voice of a 15-year-old child, which, believe me, coming from me, criticizing anyone about the tone of their voice, obviously that says something. It says something about the caliber of game that we're dealing with here. And then you jump around, and you eat ghosts. And hey, oh, there's a city level and a water level, and then there's robots, and oh, there's lava. It's just there's everything that has ever been in a video game is in this game. Look, I don't care if you guys play this game or if you guys like this game. That's your thing. Don't tweet me about it like I'm insulting you and you personally. You are not Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2. There's a school you can go to and talk to other Pac-Men. There are all kind of Pac-Men in this game. There are Pac-children, and Pac-Man himself is a child. I don't know if I don't know if this game's like a prequel to the like when Pac-Man's a grown adult Pac-Man when you know he has a fucking wife. I don't know if this is a prequel to that, or if what they're saying is actually the whole time Pac-Man was married at the age of 15. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where you're like sworn at birth, and then you get married off you're forced into it by your parents when you're 13, and then you're 16 and Ms. Pac-Man's already having children. You know, maybe it's that kind of society. Maybe that's what Pacopolis is. It's Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2 for the PlayStation 3. I've reviewed it for the Wii U and the Xbox 360 and pretty much every other goddamn version of it as well. So if you'd like a real review, you can watch all those videos. I'm not gonna do it. I don't even know that they even exist anymore. Because once they're off into the internet, and the internet is like space. They just float forever. Although space is like a vacuum. And there's no oxygen, so if you float in space, you will literally die instantly. Which is kind of like playing Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2. It's a vacuum of creativity that will kill you instantly. There. How's that for a more positive take? You know, if I were working on a video game, at some point, I would accidentally stumble into something creative. It's actually kind of impressive that they didn't. This is the most polished, well-made, boring game that's ever existed. And for that,